All right, so we've looked at the perception of vowels, we've looked at the perception of consonants, we've looked at some various theories that are used to try to account for these different issues and what some of the key issues that arise are outside of just vowels versus consonants. And now we're going to just close off by talking a little bit about the role of linguistic experience. Right now, if our goal is to best understand the perception of speech in a single language, then looking at perception in different language contexts can help us understand how those different conditions affect that perception, give us a deep understanding of that. If our goal is to best understand speech perception in general, the fact is that the majority of people in the world live in multilingual environments. And so those few who live monolingually, for example, in English dominant cultures like Western Canada, uh, we're more of an anomaly than we might realize. We've already talked a little bit about how some studies into speech perception look at very young infants. So there's already an acknowledgement that experience is affecting, it's changing, it's developing our our perception in different ways. Uh, there's also the question of multilingualism, right? If I'm learning a second language, how is my perception in that going to be similar or show similar patterns to what I have in my first language? How is it going to be different? If I grow up bilingual, speaking multiple languages from a very young age, how is that going to affect these perceptual patterns that we see? There is a question in all of this about the plasticity of the mind. Can I really learn a second language? How much does that depend on my age? That sort of thing. Is there a critical period? If I haven't learned a second language or haven't started learning a second language by a particular age, am I just out of luck? How much more difficult might it be to try to learn a language after that? Great question of direct personal relevance to some of us who are trying to learn language later in life. And this video is not going to answer those questions. It sort of raises them as things that researchers are looking at. You can check out the textbook, the last section of this last chapter, to see some of the results that are coming out of that kind of research. Uh, the hopeful message for me is that although there is some change in plasticity over life, it's not that your brain shuts off to new learning at any point. There is still the capacity to learn and assimilate new linguistic knowledge, including new phonetic knowledge, over the whole life. So that's kind of a happy note to end on.